Hello, I'm Sneha Koshi, and what a day it has been. The first phase for the high-stakes battle for Gujarat has finished. 89 seats in the states have voted, including Kutch, crucial Surat and Saurashtra. But it was also a high-octave campaign day for phase 2. The last leg with Prime Minister's mega road show through Ahmedabad, and even Kejriwal, Aam Aadmi Party's chief's road show at Ahmedabad as well. And Congress's top leader Kharge also rallying in Gujarat.
આઝાદ ભારત તરીકે ભૂલ થઈ કે દિલ્હીના એટલે કોંગ્રેસના આલા કમાને આદરણીય ખડગેજીને અહીંયા મોકલ્યા. કોંગ્રેસ પાર્ટીના નવા પ્રમુખ છે એમને મોકલ્યા. અને ખડગેજીને હું ઓળખું છું, એમનો ખૂબ આદર કરું છું, એમનું સન્માન કરું છું. પણ ખડગેજીને તો એ જ બોલવું પડે જે એમને ત્યાંથી ભણાવીને મોકલ્યા હોય. હવે તમે મને કહો, રામ ભક્તોના ધરતી પર રામ ભક્તોની સામે એમના પાસે બોલાવડાવવામાં આવ્યું કે તમે મોદીને 100 માથાવાળો રાવણ કહો. તમે જેટલો કીચડ ઉછાળશો એટલું જ કમળ વધારે ખીલવાનું છે.
मोदी जी तो हर वक्त आकर यही कहते हैं कि मुझे देख के वोट दो, मोदी को वोट दो. तो लोग तो मोदी को ही वोट दे रहे 27-28 साल से. फिर भी यह अत्याचार क्यों कम नहीं हो रहे? इसकी वजह क्या है? क्योंकि वो ये नहीं चाहते कि दीन दलित आदिवासी इनके समस्या हल हो जाए.
सबकी गारंटी है, गुजरात में 1 मार्च के बाद आपका बिजली का बिल 0 आया करेगा. जिसको 0 बिजली का बिल चाहिए, सारे जने झाड़ू पे बटन दबा देना. चाहिए कि नहीं चाहिए? और सारे सर्वे में अब आ रहा है, आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार बन रही है. बीजेपी जाए 6, आम आदमी पार्टी आवे 6.
First phase of polling in Gujarat in 89 of 182 seats, even as a high decibel campaign continued for the second phase, with the Prime Minister holding the longest roadshow ever by an Indian politician. The first phase in important seats including Saurashtra, Kutch, Surat and Rajkot had prominent candidates like incumbent Home Minister Harsh Sanghvi, Aam Aadmi Party's Chief Minister face Isudan Gadvi, Aam Aadmi Party's State President Gopal Italia, cricketer Ravindra Jadeja's wife Rivaba Jadeja.
अवश्य चारों 4 सीट भारतीय जनता पार्टी जीत पाएगी. प्रत्याशी अच्छी तरह से उन्होंने प्रचार प्रसिद्धि की है.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी एक अनुभव के साथ और युवा पीढ़ियों को तैयार करने के माध्यम, ये दोनों एक जो पिलर्स हैं उनको रेडी करने में मानने वाली पार्टी है. The first phase of polling in Gujarat is a high-stakes battle for all parties, especially for the BJP, which had a tough time securing seats in the tribal belt of Saurashtra in the last elections. Nevertheless, leaders were confident.
After 27 years in power in Gujarat, there is not a shred of anti-incumbency.
This time around, it's not just the Congress. The incumbent BJP has to fight. New entrant Aam Aadmi Party, which has campaigned aggressively, especially in Surat, a BJP bastion. But Congress candidates who had a low-key campaign made tacit statements today. Congress's Amreli MLA Paresh Dhananj reached the polling station with a gas cylinder. Voters today had many issues on their mind.
It's my pleasure to say that our country is growing fast and I like this.
दिमाग में ये चल रहा था कि अपने को किसी ऐसे आदमी को वोट दो जो अपना सब अच्छा कर सके.
For the first time, voters, the most important issue seemed jobs and employment.
युवा को भी पहले कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं था इलेक्शंस में भी, बट अब धीरे धीरे युवा को भी इलेक्शंस में इंटरेस्ट आ रहा है.
I voted on the basis of how reachable those campaigns were.
Voters from the Saurashtra region, most of the tribal belt, Kutch, Surat, Rajkot, Morbi voted on several issues including inflation, including unemployment. Some businessmen voted on the basis of which government is going to give them amenities. But all these districts, all these areas which voted today are extremely important for all the parties, and especially for the Bharatiya Janata Party, which is witnessing a triangular contest and fighting not just against the Congress but also against the new entrant, the Aam Aadmi Party. With camera person Ravi Joshi in Surat, I am Tanushree Pandey for NDTV.
And the local body polls in Delhi, well, they don't really seem local polls alone, with several chief ministers and union ministers aggressively campaigning in the capital of Delhi. In fact, this has even led the opposition attacking BJP over this. Let's see this report.
Road shows, Jan Sabhas and national stars on the campaign trail. The BJP's carpet bomb drive for the national capital's local polls goes full throttle. From padyatras to door-to-door contact, the central party is pulling out all the stops amid anti-incumbency claims, after being in power in the Delhi municipality for the past 15 years.
सब पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता हैं, पार्टी की जीत के लिए कहीं भी इन सब लोगों की जिम्मेदारी लगती है तो हम जाते हैं। हमारे दोनों स्टेट के चुनाव तो साथ-साथ होते ही थे, लेकिन अब के बाद दिल्ली का चुनाव भी हमारे साथ में हो रहा है। ये हमारे लिए खुशी है कि 3 जगह भाजपा की जीत होगी।
We are the country's largest political party. We are the largest political party in the world, and we take elections seriously.
बहुत जरूरी है क्योंकि 3 बार आगे या चौका लगाना है।
With BJP heavyweights campaigning in the name of the Prime Minister, reminding people of his achievements at the centre, the opposition says that the BJP has defeated the purpose of civic polls that should be fought on local issues. In a major outreach to residents' welfare associations, a body of representatives elected by residents to manage the daily affairs of a colony or a society, all the major parties in the fray have talked about empowering them as one of their major poll promises. The Aam Aadmi Party has guaranteed a mini councillor status for them, considering the influence they have on the voters.
इस आरडब्ल्यूए का ये जो इतना एरिया है वहां पे आप काउंसलर बन गए, जनता को सीधे गवर्नेंस के अंदर इंक्लूड किया जाए।
To achieve the political plank of a clean, green and sustainable capital, residents' bodies say they should be given more leverage to work for the welfare of the people.
The RWAs need to be empowered.
Clean streets, zero waste colonies and housing for all. These poll promises have found little resonance in the most vulnerable pockets of the national capital, buzzing with high voltage campaigns ahead of the civic polls.
पहली बात तो कोई सुनता नहीं हमारी, और हमारी ये पत्थर हटा दे तो ये नालियां साफ हो पाए।
इतना गंद पड़ा है, लैट्रिन बाथरूम सब जगह, ये सफाई बिल्कुल नहीं हो रही। ये राजीव नेतृत्व आवास योजना का फॉर्म भरा था, हमने 100 रुपए भी दिया था और राजीव नेतृत्व आवास बना भी। जहाँ तक हमें जानकारी है ये जब से केजरीवाल सरकार है उसको दिया नहीं उन्होंने।
Whether the BJP's strategy to centralize the local election works in its favor or backfires remains to be seen. In New Delhi with camera person Ashok Mahale and Pavan Kumar, Vedant for NDTV.
And in an exclusive interview to NDTV, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma has claimed that the Shraddha Walkar murder case is that of a love jihad. On being questioned on the use of this term, the Assam Chief Minister said, for any left liberal, it is a communally loaded statement. But for me, this statement was made in national interest, quote unquote.
But what is love jihad? What is the how do you even define something like a love jihad?
Love jihad has been defined by Kerala High Court in its judgment. Love jihad is a very, very important issue for us even in Assam, because this love or so-called love is made with certain specific purposes. When the purposes are not fulfilled, you see the fate like Shraddha.
Okay, fair enough. But would you still concede that this kind of rhetoric is what the Congress... No, let me just finish the question. The accusation is that the BJP has ramped up this kind of rhetoric in order to bring a communal dimension to the election, because very soon after you made these comments, you have Amit Shah saying, Home Minister no less, going around saying that the 2002 we taught such a lesson to the rioters that there has been no such riot again.
That is a factual statement.
You're talking of Hindus and Muslims?
We are talking about rioters.
No, but rioters in the Gujarat riots, both communities rioted, 1,000 people died, 800 Muslims, 200 Hindus.
Yeah. You are only what Home Minister has said that post 2002, हमने ऐसे सबक सिखाया और गुजरात में कभी रायट वगैरह नहीं हुआ।
He didn't say post, he said 2002 में सबक सिखाया।
2002 से शुरू हो गया ना, 2002 से सबक सिखाना शुरू हो गया।
नहीं, but that's what I'm asking. You said you are very clear about who you're talking about.
Yes, I know.
Who?
You know who?
No. Why don't if you're so clear?
I'm against it.
I don't know.
Indulge in riot.
So you mean all communities?
I mean, when I say that those who indulge in riot,
okay,
and Hindu normally doesn't contribute in riots.
That's an extraordinary statement you made.
That is the statement because.
But in Gujarat, sir, hold on, 800 Muslims were killed.
You see, Srinivasan,
you're saying Hindus don't indulge in riots?
Hindu as a community, we don't believe in jihad. So Hindu as a community, we believe in peace.
Well, that's just an excerpt of the entire interview which was given to Srinivasan Jain. Do tune in to NDTV for more excerpts from this interview. And now moving on, 40 minutes of server failure led to chaos on Thursday at Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport's Terminal 2. While normal services have now resumed at the airport, visuals of large crowds were widely shared by frustrated passengers on Twitter. In fact, the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport went on to say that there was a network interruption which resulted from the cable cut during construction and various ticketing systems were interrupted. All systems were eventually restored and functional. It's time for a short break. On the other side, more news. Welcome back. And the director of the Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Kharagpur, had a tough time before the court today as the court pulled up the IIT Kharagpur institution and the director yet again. In fact, the court has gone ahead and slammed the IIT Kharagpur, saying the director has tried to cover up the facts. The student's body was found in IIT Kharagpur hostel room in October. The director has been trying to cover up facts. The Kharagpur director's report is thoroughly misleading. The question was on what was the action taken, but there was nothing of that mentioned in the report. Ragging leaves permanent scars on students. Despite seeking report, no action has been taken. These were the scathing remarks by the Calcutta High Court while hearing the petition of the parents of the child of the boy who died due to the alleged case of ragging at IIT Kharagpur. And two men who molested a South Korean woman in Mumbai last night while she was live streaming have been arrested by the police. The woman who could be seen rattled in the video clip told NDTV she tried her best not to escalate the situation as there were two men molesting her.
The molestation of this South Korean woman, a YouTuber, streamed live last night in Mumbai.
Where are we going? I'm scared. I'm dressed. Hi. Tomorrow. One. Whoa. Time to go home. Hi, bye. Bye. Come this year. No. It's okay. It's all over there. Patient? Huh? Patient? Yeah. My house is there. No. Home over there. Okay.
After the video went viral, the Mumbai police registered a sexual assault case on their own and have arrested the accused, identified as 19-year-old Mobeen Chand Mohammad Sheikh and 20-year-old Mohammad Naqib Ansari. In an interview to NDTV, the woman thanked the Mumbai police for acting fast in the case and said she tried her best not to escalate the situation as there were 2 men molesting her. She, however, does not hold the horrifying experience against the country.
This type of thing quite happen often because I'm doing live streaming and it draws attention and they want to engage. So I say, yeah, on the way, I say, oh yeah, I love you back. But he started to come and he put his arm on my shoulder and tried to kiss me one time. And at that time, I was like, okay, this could turn into very situation that I want to be. So I try my best not to escalate the situation and leave.
After the incident, many across Mumbai, a city considered safe for women, said they were concerned.
Safe है ये place, but फिर भी नहीं करना चाहिए था.
Even the stares that they give, we feel unsafe with the stares that they give itself. They don't need to come up to us, but the way they stare at us while we are walking makes us very uncomfortable.
Actually, ये सब जानने के बाद फिर ऐसा लगता है कि
even we are not safe.
Yeah.
After the prompt action taken by the police, both the accused have now been sent to a one-day police custody. Yojung Park, on the other hand, has said that she is happy with the action taken by Mumbai police and she will continue with her trip in India. In Mumbai, with camera person Rajendra Dayalkar, Sohit Mishra, NDTV.
And India has taken over the G20 presidency with a very clear message. Minister says India should strive to be the voice of Global South.
100 monuments lit up as India takes over the G20 presidency with a clear message. It intends to be the voice of the Global South, countries from Latin America and Africa to smaller nations in Asia, those who are not part of the G20.
And it is also a time when we must become the voice of the Global South that is otherwise underrepresented in such forums. Countries of Asia, Africa and Latin America trust India to speak up for them. We have of late been in the forefront of expressing their concerns on fuel, on food, on fertilizers.
The challenges are many. The most immediate is the food and fuel crisis after the Ukraine war. Dealing with Russia, which has been sanctioned mainly by the rich G7 countries. And perhaps the most important, climate change, whether rich nations are pushing back on finances to help developing and poor countries against the ravages of climate change. The developed nations, who historically are most responsible for the devastating crisis, are only offering a few billions, whereas trillions are needed. A tough winter in Europe could further aggravate the situation, with India having to do a tightrope walk.
I think dealing with Russia will be one of the most difficult issues in this presidency. And I think the Indonesians, with the help of many other countries, including India, managed well. I'm confident that the Indians will also manage well, but you have to see that this conflict will remain with the G20 in the years and the months to come.
India also took over the presidency for the month of December at the United Nations Security Council. India's 2-year tenure as a non-permanent member ends this year, but India will continue to rally support for pressing reforms at the global platform.
As far as a new orientation for reformed multilateralism is concerned, I think it is very clear to everyone that the UN of today is far from reflective of the true diversity of the UN's wider membership. 22 years after the world leaders had called for a comprehensive UN Security Council reform, we have not moved even an inch.
From the presidency of G20 to the chair of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, 2023 will be a year of big responsibilities for India. As it showcases itself as a global player, it will also need to do a careful balance under the current complex geopolitical situation. In New Delhi, Maha Siddiqui for NDTV.